Indonesia and the Netherlands have been working together in the field of water for many years. This collaboration is based on a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU. Together we cope with themes of water management, governance and capacity building, water for food and ecosystems, water supply and sanitation, and climate change. The exchange of technical know-how and sharing of experiences can help address these challenges. One of the most important projects is the flood management of Jakarta. Jakarta, capital of Indonesia, over 10 million people live in this metropole, is one of the fastest growing cities of the world and the most populated city of Southeast Asia. There are about 13 rivers flowing through Jakarta, making it vulnerable to flooding. 10 years ago, Jakarta had to cope with major flooding due to land subsidence, heavy rains and a water system that couldn't cope. The government decided to contact the Dutch for help. This led to the start of the Jakarta Flood Management Programme. Structural, non-structural and institutional measures had to be taken to limit the flood risk. No-regret measures, such as the rehabilitation of the West Flood Canal, maintenance dredging at the Pluit Reservoir, completing the East Flood Canal, upgrading Manggarai Gate, and river training works are physical evidence of the cooperation. Plans for future interventions, such as the National Capital Integrated Coastal Development, NCICD, are in preparation.
In 2007, the people from Jakarta, also the government, knew that something had to change. The system could not cope with the water anymore, and the damage was rapidly increasing. And that's why the cooperation between Indonesia and the Netherlands started. The first steps were actually quite simple. It was restore the channels and the rivers to their original design, clean the channels, repair the dikes. And the second big step was to finish, to build, to implement a very large flood channel on the east side of Jakarta, which was designed in 1973, and already for 30 years there were discussions, should we build it, should we not build it? And then when we started with the cooperation, we showed with computer models that the channel would be very useful for Jakarta, and 3 years later it was completed.
In addition to the no-regret measures, many other improvements to the overall water system have been implemented recently.
The cooperation between Indonesia and Netherlands so important because Indonesia can learn from Netherlands about the advanced technology that you have had already created in solving water-related issues, and the Netherlands can learn from Indonesia developing the infrastructure in water-related sector. So we have mutual beneficial in a cooperation between Netherlands and Indonesia.
In the past it was more like an aid project, development aid, and nowadays it's on a mutual relationship. You're even and you want to work together, exchange knowledge. For example, in the Netherlands we started working on Room for the River projects to protect our rivers from flooding. This was a new insight that you should broaden the river instead of making higher and higher dikes, and we can export such a theme to Indonesia. And on the other way around, they have experiences which we don't have yet that we can study to see what we can do in the Netherlands.
The most important, I think, is that we have learned from the Netherlands is how to think systematically, to see in general, put it piece by piece, our idea, supported by the numerical model, and then make calibration, etc. And then based on that, we have a confidence that together we can work to put our idea piece by piece, making it Jakarta safer and healthier for everybody.
Institutional development is also an important part of the cooperation between the Netherlands and Indonesia. The Orange Brigade is a perfect illustration of feet on the ground.
Saya kerja di UPK Badan Air, bertugas untuk membersihkan kali-kali di sekitar Ciliwung, sampah-sampah yang ada hanyut di pekerjaan ini sangat penting karena untuk memperlancar aliran-aliran air yang ada di sepanjang Sungai Ciliwung untuk mencegah banjir di kota Jakarta ini. Masyarakat di sekitar sungai itu sangat-sangat mendukung kita karena mereka sangat-sangat menikmati hasil dari kerja kita.
A lot has happened since the floods in 2007, and while water-related problems are not yet over, the citizens of Jakarta already feel a lot safer.
Sebelum ada ini sering banjir, airnya sering luber, banjir kadang sebetis, tapi semenjak ada pembangunan ini udah jarang banjir.
Setiap hujan selalu banjir. Pernah banjir seatap rumah. Sekarang ya enak lah, nggak pernah banjir kalau hujan. Jadi istilahnya kalinya bagus.
If we could realize the NCICD and project, I think Jakarta will become much more safer, and it is become the role model to solve the problem of the big city, not only in Indonesia, I do believe, but also in another country in the world.
In the past 10 years we achieved a lot, and we are all motivated, the Indonesian side, also the Dutch side, to continue our cooperation like we did for the past 10 years, for the past 30 years, and extend the knowledge and keep improving the water system in Jakarta and the water management.
Evidently the cooperation has brought us so much, but there is still plenty to do. Let's celebrate success and use the lessons learned to enhance this cooperation.